So since there wasn't really enough like sets for the grand finals to do like a normal awards and recaps, I thought I might just go through and pretty much explain my thought process of like the draft and some of the games and stuff. Um, yeah, I thought it might be interesting, especially for like some of the lower div players to kind of compare how they kind of approach things compared to like my thought process and stuff. But yeah, essentially the map draft went. So essentially how I prepared for the map draft is I have like a preparation document. I have like a template, and then I just slightly change it each tournament based off the maps in that tournament. So what I do is I just fill out what I think is the really good civs, put some notes just in case I like forget. You know how it is sometimes, like especially if you're in multiple tournaments, you forget like which scripts and the details of the maps, so you can just go through here, check your notes. And then each week before I start a set, I put the priority order of what I think the maps I want to prioritize against that opponent is. Because I'm normally pretty flexible. I can play any type of map I feel, but so I normally just kind of like try and play to the opponent's weaknesses more so than my strengths, I guess. So this is essentially, so I just go from like 1 to 11, and then so against Oxy essentially I was like, okay, open maps is kind of, I'd say, his strength. So I went and like prioritized more kind of maps where I could like get either messy games or kind of have a better approach, I felt. So once I've put the numbers here, this spreadsheet automatically gets sorted. And then yeah, essentially by there I just tick the boxes once I picked a band. So I felt like the draft went okay. I banned Arabia as my first ban. I got my top 2 picks, got some like middle of the road picks, and got 2 like later picks. So it went like slightly better than I wanted, but like not huge, not like hugely my way, I'd say. Like the main difference is I got like my top 2 picks I think against Oxy, and then I managed to get like the worst one banned because I got like 1 free ban anyway. Yeah, which you can see here, like I first banned Arabia, he banned Nomad. Yeah, so that's essentially what the bans went like. And as far as the actually I should, before I get too big into the Civ draft, essentially looking at the maps, there's kind of like I'll put some like brief notes before the draft started, like just have a bit of ideas of what civs I'll be looking into. With Copenhagen, the old like my thinking was in like a straight like galley war. Like I still think the meta is like Doctor Top Bond and like galley war, but against Soxy, I don't think I can kind of keep up with his macro too well. I wasn't too comfortable with like just like a straight galley war into like just a straight meta game like that. So I was like, okay, regardless of kind of the civs, I was thinking I would try and do the thing where I dock the top pond, make up a fish, then dock the bottom pond as well, and just kind of like fast castle it, and kind of play from there. Because from what I've seen, like I remember Doubt did that against Leary, and I saw Flightless's game against me. I feel like it's a very valid strategy. It leads to an even-ish game, especially if the opponent doesn't scout it straight away. And you can do some interesting stuff like petarding in, which is what Flightless did to me. But I think Flightless kind of didn't need a workshop. I don't think you have to like invest that much. You can kind of like boom it out. So yeah, so that was kind of my thinking from the get-go. I was kind of hoping I could get like Koreans or Bengalis or Portuguese, because they can all kind of do that, and they kind of give the impression that you might be playing it more standard. But then, so let's go through. So when we're going through like the bands here, you can see like Bengalis band, Portuguese band. I had Bohemians like a backup pick, so a solid late game. And then Koreans banned. Whoops, I didn't mean to skip to the end. But yeah, you can essentially see after the bans, like, all the civs that would have been given for that approach were gone. And so were like so many of the water civs. So like there's like very minimal migration Kawasan, Copenhagen civs left. Like if you're looking at like water civs that are left, you got Byzantines, Malay, kinda Saracens, and kinda Persians for like hybrid. So yeah, so essentially looking at a draft, you can kinda tell that we're gonna have some scuffed civs. Probably, like, and realistically, we probably should have prioritized water civs. Another thing I should note is with this strategy, where you're like giving up the top ones, you really need to ban Malay. Just Malay being out of fish trap for free is just too huge. And then, yeah, I was also thinking like I just don't like dealing with humans, so I often just ban them. I was thinking them for like ban them and bypass. Tudens is kind of annoying because it gets rid of a lot of clan openings and bypass. But like realistically, these are just like ideas for stuff to ban or prioritize. They weren't like set in stone. It also depended on what the random bans turned out like. But essentially, I'll just continue on a little bit more. So that's why I banned Malay, and then I also banned Persians because, in my opinion, they're like top 1 Kawasan pick. So getting rid of them frees me up to first pick either Chinese or Mayans. Because in my opinion, Chinese are just like Chinese or Mayans for tier gun and outcrop. Because you start off with the houses. Mayans are like more like a couple hundred res ahead, but like early mid feudal. And Chinese, just because you start off with a sheep straight on ETC, so you're like 2.5 bills ahead. Yeah, so I just think they're just far. Both those two civs are just so far ahead of all the other civs who've played correctly in these two maps that I just like prioritizing them really early. So yeah, so we can see here, I do Chinese. Spanish is kind of like, so as soon as I saw the Spanish pick, I was like, okay, that's full bypass. What I was originally thinking is I'll do a similar thing to what I did against Flightless, where I just like late pick Berbers. So it's like late pick Berbers, just play Camelotch. But we'll keep on going through here. I do Maya. He does Hindu as kind of like a counter pick, I guess. In my opinion, it kind of works. Like I can see it on Arabia, but with like how open the middle is and like how far ahead you are, and just because you don't have to get Loom at the start, I don't think Hindus is actually a counter pick. Like I've seen Hindus versus Mines multiple times on Tea Garden, and Mines are just one every time. But yeah, I guess his thinking was it's a counter pick, but I think it was more I just played badly in that game, but we'll get to that game when we get there. And then I did like this. Essentially, it denies me playing Berbers against Spanish, which Soxy probably saw I like to do. And Berbers you can play on Migration. You can also play on like Socotra if you want to build war, but I'd say like Berbers on Migration or something. Or you can even play Berbers on Copenhagen if you really wanted to. But essentially from here, because you notice like no water civs, it should just be like a water civ fiesta. That's why I go for Biz and Romans. Technically the Romans could have been Vikings, because I could play Vikings on Migration. But this is another thing of like me kind of changing my draft based off of who I'm facing. I don't really want to get into a galley war against Soxy. Like I'm not that great at like the old galley micro while macroing kind of thing. So I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? He can. I want to play like fast castle fires, make things messy. So I was just like Romans. They get Romans later on, which I know someone in the Twitch chat was saying they don't like Romans, or they don't like Romans, but in my opinion, just having the Roman timing can be so helpful, especially if there's anything along the shoreline you need to clear. And just Roman eco, well, especially if you're making a ton of fish, you can get them out nice and quickly and everything. The Turk pick was weird. I thought for a bit there he was going to go like fast tempo and bypass or something. But yeah, there wasn't anything too spicy of a draft after that. Essentially, Saracens, I kind of wanted to try out FC Mimaleaks versus FC Gonk on bypass. Essentially, it's one of those ones where like I have less range. Like technically I counter him, but I have less range. So essentially I've got to bait him into... I gotta get early husbandry and bait him into overcommitting. But if I can get a good clear up, like if I can survive early on, Saracens, like as the game goes on, Spanish really struggle to deal with Mamluk. So I felt like that game could have gone either way. And it would be like a late pick versus an early pick, and it's like getting rid of one of the few water sieves left too. And then I just picked Vikings because I had 2 spare sieves, and I was like, just to get rid of another water sieve, because I felt like you didn't have many water sieves. And yeah, Bulgarians, oh yeah, Bulgarians is just because there's like no sieves left. And I was just like, I felt like kind of any sieve of a good late game could kind of work in Copenhagen with the approach I did. So I was just kind of like, yeah, any sieve of a good late game, and ideally a unique unit I can kind of petard in. Obviously it's not as good petarding in with a melee unit compared to like a wagon or something. But at the same time it's kind of like, you know, just 1 petard and like 2 conics, even without upgrades, could be really annoying to disrupt the eco if you're not expecting it. Then obviously, like, my plan wasn't to kill that, just like give me time to beam behind. And yeah, so that's pretty much the draft, so we'll look into the game after that. Yeah, so game 1, I think, yeah, this was the civ I kind of expected for after looking at this draft, and I remember Soxy, I'm pretty sure Soxy played Big Andeans here before as well. But yeah, like, Bulgarians isn't necessarily the best pick for this, but with the kind of FC approach, I don't think the civ matters too much. So long as I can kind of, like, because you're not making as many ships, having like a, and you just FCing, having a like really good civ pro doesn't matter as much. It's more like how your opponent adapts to you. Like, obviously there's like a decent amount of difference, but it's not as high priority as if I was going like straight galley war. But yeah, essentially this, there's always the wolf that spawns here, and I can't be bothered like pulling it in, so I just bring my scout to help make sure I can get a dock up. You also never know if, like, say Soxy sends a scout out here early, so it's nice having my scout out here. But yeah, essentially you make this dock straight away. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a almost lost a Viltorbo. That's why there's this little bit of idle time here. But yeah, essentially I get the dock off. And I think I get lucky that Soxy doesn't... I don't think Soxy scouts it too early. Let's see. Yeah, see. Yeah, he doesn't scout it that early, which is good for me. Because I remember... so I always make sure to scout this pretty regularly early on, because I remember seeing it in a Doubt vs Soxy set, so... No, sorry, the Doubt vs... Yeah, I think it's Doubt vs Luria or Doubt vs Hera in NAC. Or... I don't even know if it was NAC, it was in one tournament. Ever since this... So, like, I know it's a strategy, so I'll always scout early, which is why I caught it really early against Flight. Because if you catch it early, you don't need to build a second dock up here, you just like insta-dock here, and you get rid of this fish really fast. So yeah, I think a big thing that helped me is, yeah, Soxy didn't know about this straight away. It's like, yeah, he still hasn't caught it. Technically I'm like, because I'm FCing, I'm like 8 fills ahead right now. So my res collected's like I will lose these left fish, but for now my resources is kind of going nuts. And then Soxy's gonna scout it now. I've got my scout along here. Like, I was debating if I should even have my scout out here while I was in Dark Age, but I just thought having the info of knowing if Soxy's docking here or not is just huge. So yeah, Soxy scouts and he instantly goes to get a Vil, so he kind of realizes what's up. I see the Vil. I hit Buta now so I can just run with my scout. I go to heal it up. My eco balance is a little scuffed. Because like I'm just trying to like buy time for my fish. Soxy brings a spear over. I also bring a spear over, ideally because I want to kill this Vil if I can. Soxy built 4 galleys. I was debating making some fires here. But as soon as I saw the second lot of galleys, I was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. At the moment it's like he's invested 2 docks versus 1. He's made 4 galleys. I'll just leave it there. And he did add an extra fish, which is good. I was debating how much I should invest into here, but I figured I'll keep on investing, try and keep these at least 4 fish alive as long as possible. And I added a spear because I wanted to help snipe the repair bill. So I hit Castle Age. I was debating getting the upgrade in this stock yet, but I wasn't sure if it would get destroyed in time. So I was like, I'll just build it in one of these ones. And yeah, I managed to start the repair bill, which is huge, because that means I can repair and he can't. And I think I sent a Conic out here just to try and kill another repair bill, because I'm pretty sure, because I was pretty confident he would send one out. Yeah, so my first Conic goes here. Then afterwards I'm going to Petard here and run around the base. And yeah, so Soxy's just now clicked up. I wonder what the risk collected's like. So a bit ahead for me, I'd say. 22, so... Yeah, he's got more wood collected, but I've got more food collected. So yeah, we'll say close enough to even. And for like Bulgarians versus Burgundians, I'll happily take that. Especially because I know I'm gonna get my TC up faster, so I'll be able to catch up on Vils. Like technically I'm behind Eco units because he's got 5 fish here. And yeah, as predicted, he sends a repair bill out. He manages to quick wall it in though, but yeah, at this point I thought I'd want water. I didn't think it's gonna invest too much more into it, so I didn't like really heavily commit. I probably should have made like a demo or something and just like set it here, like had a garrisons. Yeah, this is when I do like feudal walls die to 1 petard, so I shouldn't have like I was trying to scatter his walls, but I shouldn't have gotten that close. Because like ideally Soxy, like the quicker, as soon as I show this, Soxy's probably like gonna start looking back here and be like, oh. But I think he was a bit distracted with his stuff. Yeah, he's like quick walling a Vil, getting the Vil down over there. So I got a bit lucky he wasn't paying attention. And Soxy even added like a fire up here as well. Because I guess he wasn't sure if I was going to redog or whatever. So I force walls. I'm ahead in Nika units now. And he goes to rewall this. About to send my second dude in. But yeah, for whatever reason, his Vils path out this way to do it. Which is actually so unlucky for him. I don't think the stream caught up, but it's huge for me. So I see him coming back in, so I put my dude in stand ground and sit here. And in the meantime, I'm getting like Vil kills here, force rewalls, idles here, idles here. He does win this. This dude's not attacking, I don't have any demos. But I don't really care too much. So yeah, like behind this, like I'm not getting upgrades or anything. This isn't like me trying to kill him. This is me just trying to get my EK going, get ahead. So he's got first gold mining, second wood. I don't have a second wood yet, but I have the first farm. And yeah, I've got like no upgrades for my units. These are just like unupgraded guys, just run around doing damage. But yeah, I'd say the opening just went really well. Oh yeah, I'm getting second wood, second food, picking up the middle relics. And yeah, I'm ahead like 10 EK units. So I'd say at this point that the opening is pretty much what won me this game. From here it's like just add TCs, beam it out, can play Conic, switch to Howl later, can go CA later. Like late game, I think if you're ahead of Burgundians, well, I think late game, like early Imp's scary for Burgundians because they have really good hand cannons. The pala timing with a cheap pala is always good. But past that point, Bulgarians should be better. Like you can always get CA, Conic, Howl Siege, whatever. This gate wasn't really that important, but I had the Vil outpost and stuff anyway. So having a gate here is kind of like, it's just kind of annoying for Soxy not being out of path for here, pretty much. And then sometimes late game heaviness here is helpful, because you can send units in and out to raid here, and you can come back out. And at the very least it's extra vision, but yeah. The one thing I was scared of, like I was looking at the score and I saw how far ahead he was. I wasn't sure if it was just water or if it was like big fish booming. So that's the whole reason I went for this. Like Crepos tier, Dock. Essentially the thinking was, if he's got like a ton of fish traps here, I'll just go through and kill him. But he only had these 5 fish, so it wasn't that worth it in the end. But it felt like my only like loose condition after the opening was if he had like a huge fish boom. Oh yeah, this was huge too. I had vision in the middle, I saw he was here. I felt like I was pretty safe, like Crepos here, TC's here. No like huge exposed eco. So while I saw he had his army here, I just wrapped all the way around here. Got a ton of damage. Yeah, like a ton of hard time, build kills, etc. And he has to run like all the way around because of the gate. It even took longer too. I shouldn't have fought this, I should have just ran. Waited for upgrades. And yeah, beyond that, the game's so fun. I was scared he might go like I started added helps, but then I thought it'd go chemistry and get hand cannons, so that's part of the reason why I was getting like early ballistics and I started adding ranges at one point. But yeah, I think that's about all we need to watch from that game. And yeah, so essentially, so Chinese vs Tatars. I think Tatars is like one of the best standard civs on this map. Like you have all the cows. Having all these hills to micro back to is huge. I got kind of unlucky with my sheep. I didn't find... I guess I should have started up here because it's like one lot. But I didn't find any until I got all the way like over here. At the time I was thinking maybe Soxy's scouting this side too and he's already got him before me. Oh, there he is. I don't know how many Soxy got. Okay, I'll find these two. Ah yeah, so Soxy sees them on that side and he like comes back here. How much does Soxy get? Oh yes, looks like it's fair for you, okay. I end up like, I normally just explore one side, then push deer. Like having deer on ATC is nice, like gathers so fast. And it's less of a gamble just in case the other players already got to shoot from the side. But maybe I should have tried to go this side to deny it from Zoxy, but it is what it is. My thinking in this matchup is like open scouts, play archers later. Like try and get archers going in feudal. Because ideally, if you hit the mass of archers in Castle Age, it makes CA play a lot harder. Because yeah, like if there's already crossbow in the field, like crossbow outrange CA makes it, and you already got like numbers advantage in CA, you can often just kill the CA player if you try and go like scouts into CA straight away. I did like my map, very wallable. The only downside is this gold's forward. But essentially I was like, I'll just take this gold, it's fine. So I'll just wall up. Once I got my walls mostly done, start switching to archers. And then go forward, like Chinese, like I'm ahead in EK units. I'm vibing. I just need to not take damage. Soxy did a nice play where I walked past this Vil and he bought himself out. I get out of his base. I think I scouted he's on archers as well. Yeah. I wasn't sure if he would move out or if he would greed Castle Age. Essentially, I was like, I'm fully walled. I'll go to Castle Age, then I'll get upgrades afterwards. And then I'll just play double range crossbow. I make a bit of a mistake here. I'm like, start making units. I'm like, I can probably push this back in feudal so I don't lose my range. What I should've... Like, ideally I shouldn't have had... I should have my building set up differently, where I could eject my archers on this side and then just macro. So I got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 5, so I got my archers, I should be able to marker on this side. Or at the very least, like, make it so he's not constantly attacking my range, then just wait for crossbow. Especially if I had like this range creasing outside here. But instead I do things very awkwardly. I'm like, I kind of think I have enough units. I try and inject on this side, but 5 of them come out here, 2 of them come out here, so I lose like 3 units for free. This goes kind of badly for me too. But yeah, Soxy did commit a lot to feudal. Like he had second range going before he'd clicked up as well. I kind of wasn't expecting this many numbers, but I also don't know why I have a cow here. He kills the cow. What a rude guy. Yeah, crossbow Vulcan on the way. I dropped a TC. I probably should have got ballistics then TC. But at the same time, like, Soxy's... I don't know, it just feels so hard to punish Soxy's micro sometimes, even when I have ballistics, which you'll see later. So it's just like, yeah, I'll get the guaranteed eco advantage and worry about killing units later. So yeah, I'm just like trying to like kill his units, but like none of the stray hits are hitting. And I also don't want to like push uphill until I had the numbers, but then Soxy starts running away. I start chasing, ballistics is about to be in. And yeah, as soon as I see Soxy hit Castle Age, I'm like, okay, I better jump on it before it's crossbow. Like, ideally I kill this without losing any units, but it's better to jump on it now than later. But yeah, Soxy did a really good job, like, buying time there. Like, realistically, there was a solid chance I could have just gone to his base and killed him. Which maybe it's something I should have done. Like, I had this walled, like, maybe walled this a little bit more. I could have done, like, a workshop at home, actually, and then just sent all my crossbow forward. But, you know, here's what it is. So yeah, I expand out this side. Soxy goes to the middle phase. I don't scout this for ages. But yeah, essentially I know I had my TCs up first, so I'm not like overly pushing. I'm just kind of messing up here. Getting archer armor. Oh yeah, this is what I mean about freaking We got like evenish numbers, or even numbers. I got the hill. Then he's just like constantly out micro ballistics. What a nerd. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going away. Wait, am I? Yeah, no. He just out microed me really hard there. Well played, well played. But yeah, I think, like, yeah, just, yeah, it sucks his macro here kind of like slipped up and he's just kind of like, yeah, well, I'll fast simp, I guess. That's what I'm guessing anyway. I don't think he's like completely planning on fast simp from the get-go, but he kind of saw, like, he probably got to like 600 feet or something and he's like, well, might as well do something with it. And like, I guess he knows he's like behind anyway from being late at the castle. But yeah, after that like macro show, I was like, yeah, I'll just get skirmisher. But yeah, from this point, it's just kind of like Soxy's fast simping without Arbalist, and I'm just gonna play full scam and just survive. It's fine. I end up expanding on this side too, just in case I'm pushed up the other side. And it's nice having bills here so I can come forward for castle drops, etc. Outpost the entire map, so I have vision. I tried to catch out his army, but he retreated to his TCs, and here's when I finally find it. I've got vision over here as well. This outpost. So I scout these villages coming. Well, actually, I don't notice the village straight away, but when I go to gold, I notice it, and I queue a knight. Yeah, I click up to imp. So it sucks your macros a lot and gets like good KD, but at the end of the day, I've got a better EK, and I'm playing skirmishes. So yeah, I see this and I send a random knight. Here he is, look at him go. This is annoying. For the most part, just like scam. Still harassing here, make a board castle here. Yeah, this knight kills like 6 bills. He does do a good job of this though. Yeah, that's pretty much that game. Yeah, just Chinese I think just really helped set me up for a fast castle age, which kind of made the game from there. Yeah, and yeah, after this is game 3. I was feeling like I was in a good spot after I won like his home map. Like like outcrop. After winning now, I felt like I was in a good position. Because that was one of the ones that in theory should be a struggle against Soxy, but yeah. You guys for this instant rush thing. I was very annoyed at myself this game. Because I saw it when it was like around here, if I recall correctly, and I just didn't wall in my woodline because I'm stupid. I saw his scout, I thought he was going for lame, and I hadn't found my sheep yet, so I was worried if my sheep were over here, he might have been able to take my sheep before I'd even scouted him. But yeah, I'm just like chasing the scout around. I'm like, yeah, I'll get 3 hits, I'm stronger in Dark Age, whatever. Yeah, this is stupid for me. I see it here, I should have just quickly wool. Instead of do the stupid thing of like, oh yeah, I'll just build fight it, forgetting that I hadn't got loom yet. Which is like the whole reason I pick mines in this map, is because I don't need to get loom. And even here, I could've... Yeah, no. Soxy sees that it's on a flame and he's like, oh well, I'll just kill you then. So I lose 2 bills here. I did kill the militia and most of his scout, but... Yeah, that was dumb of me. And yeah, that just makes the game harder. And then I click up too early. Like I should have clicked up. Like I've only got 16 villagers working. I should have waited until longer because I can't afford anything. Like I make the barracks, then I can't afford a range for a while, and then I can't afford double bit axe. It's just if I go up like 1 pop later, maybe I can still make something happen in this game. But yeah, essentially I go out here. I scouted that he's going out to this deer, so it's like, oh yeah, make sure he doesn't have a mill idea. Go forward. I scouted range, so I thought he was on scams. I was like, oh, okay, if he's on scams, I'll just mix in scams and eagles. after I make like my first 2 archers. But then, yeah, he already has 3 archers by the time I get there. He kills me. Then he has a quick stable as well. And like the KD's, yeah, I just lose all my first stuff, and I'm like, well, the game already felt kind of over after the 2 bills, and then this felt like a mega over. But I was like, I'll keep on playing, see what I can do. I'm only behind 1 bill at this point, so I guess Soxy, or 1.5 bills, I guess Soxy's out it a little bit. Yeah, like KD's not looking good for me. I cut through, so I'm like, okay, I'll just try and hold with some skirmishes and see if I can get some damage here to like make a play. I should have just towered, like I should have towered as I was leaving, like I was a little bit late on the tower. It ends up going okay. And I get a few good bill kills here too. And yeah, that did even up the bill count actually. Oh well, yeah, pretty much even. I'm a Dumbo. I should have built the house like 1 more tower forward. There's a hole here. I drop a second range just to catch up in numbers, just to try and hold. Yeah, this was big as well. I try to make a few more plays from the middle, force Soxy to drop a tower. Yeah, Soxy ends up clicking castle a lot before me. I do end up getting a clear here. But like this was huge. Potentially, I might have been able to not resign here. Like if I get if I like buy a tower, put it like buy a tower, instantly put it here, and just hold with like my feudal scams. I've got huge army numbers. But yeah, I just saw his crossbow timing, and I was like, yeah. After like how frustrated I was with like my Dark Age and losing my units early feudal for free, I was just kind of like, well, I resign. But maybe I could have held on and tried something, but yeah, like because I do have a tower here already as well, and a lot of army. But yeah, if it did play out to like a macro game, Hindustanis can just play a Gilum anyway. But yeah, so that was game 3. Okay, and then this is game 4. I was a little surprised with the Turk pick. I was kind of like, I was thinking maybe he'd play Berbers here or something. You know, like Berbers, faster ships, decent water tech tree. And honestly, having the faster ships, if you're playing feudal versus FC, actually doesn't hurt. You can get over and punish the fish beam a bit quicker. But yeah, essentially my thinking is, you know, I'll just FC. I don't want to do like fast feudal galley war against Soxy. I'm fine, I'll just make it messy. How I normally approach this map is fast castle. If the other person's fast castling as well, I'll drop a stable here. And I'll fire up in the middle. If the other person's been playing feudal, what I'll do is I'll drop a 4 dock just to really make sure I kill their fish. And just make it messy, because if you don't have a 4 dock here, sometimes a person can just like buy enough space to keep the fish alive just by like marking their galleys along either of the long sides. But if you have a 4 dock here, it essentially means you're pushing from like 3 different fronts, and it becomes a lot harder for them to keep the fish alive, if at all. Especially with how fast Castle Age fires kill fishing ships. But yeah, if you have seen like this, you kind of like it's just a game of trying to keep your fish alive. You can't expect to lose some fish. The transport's essentially just to buy time. I want him to chase my transport after I've transported here. So I'm fine with that. I'm just like moving fish back and forth. He's doing a good job blocking and stuff. But I managed to like hide some fish over here. And then I've clicked up so I can just start messing fires. I've got the forward dock here too. I thought Soxy might, like, when I saw Turks I was thinking maybe he would eventually go for a castle in the middle. Which he does end up doing, so then like, wasn't that surprising to me. Like I was thinking maybe like he might do like a castle and like fast temple something eventually. Yep, so I got like ships coming around from the left, ships coming from the middle. And then I end up cleaning up the galleys too. There's too many fronts to mark everything at once. He does keep his fish alive for a while just with his own fires. I see this castle in the middle. I probably should have not made any builds from this TC. Like once he's invested in the castle, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be keeping this alive. I was thinking maybe of a couple of monks. Yeah, eventually I do kill this. I'm not sure if I like his castle position. It's kind of like it's in German range, so it's kind of not too hard for me to push it back. But essentially, my thinking at this point is I'll go like faster shimp. I'm adding more. I've added a few more fish as well. I think I've got 5, 9, 11 fish. When Sox had already killed some of my fish. The advantage of this castle is it's a good spot for Sox to macro back to though. But yeah, obviously the downside is I can get rid of it later. But yeah, essentially once I see the second castle, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm stuffed at this point. Well, like, I'm not going to be able to keep my villas alive on land. I'll definitely have to like fast imp and try and get back in the middle later. I do end up researching wheelbarrow specifically in this TC, because I don't want to make too many more builds in here, but I generally use select all TC, so it's kind of hard for me to not make vills here. Yeah, adding fish. I added 1 extra TCM island as well, just for a little bit extra eco. Yeah. Essentially, Soxy's win condition at this point is if he can fully keep me off of getting back onto the islands. And yeah, my win condition is obviously just to get established on the islands. And to do that, I'm like, fast imp, German this. I end up making a play for his island as well, just to make him distracted, make it a lot easier for me to get back on. And because like he can't transport units back to the defense, and I know he has nothing here to defense, so it's good for me. And yeah, also one thing that would have been scary is if he snuck a transport onto my island. So I'd had units patrolling all along, like I have a unit patrolling along here. I think I have a unit patrolling along left side too. I end up catching out this dock, fortunately. Just a small thing that that really helps. Like one of the differences between like more experienced and less experienced players is just a lot of the small things. Yeah. He ends up killing all his villas. I just shift click him around and see if any survive. No point trying to macro him. I do end up killing his dock as well. Yeah, so I transport along, do knights. Okay, I open knights here just while I get Germans coming to clean this castle. I was initially thinking eventually to try and clean. I'll play knights on a mainland as well, like big cavalier to kill these eventually. But yeah, like these knights force so much reaction. Force a castle, and this castle's also open German range, so I end up going like heaven instead of knights just because I'm like almost out of gold. I'm using all my gold and Germans. I should have killed this stock first. And yeah, what I do see is Soxy camps all his units along here, when in reality he should be like spread out. He should have outposts everywhere. And I see all those units down there, so I can transport and drop a castle here. And once I'm established in this island, he doesn't have any win conditions left really. His units are still being annoying. And yeah, so it's like last ditch plays like a full castle age thing. I end up deciding to go skirmisher because I'm like, that's the safe play when I'm so far ahead. Like, obviously my skirmishers are shit, but you know, they can still kill Janissaries cost effectively. And as soon as I clear this, I'll just like, yep, unleash the Lyco. And yeah, that's pretty much that game. It was just like, yeah, it just kind of like opening went well. I wasn't punished for the FC really. And yeah, obviously Romans is just Romans vs Turks should be a winning matchup on this map. Cool. And then the last game, Cabazon. I was pretty confident in this matchup. I think Biz is just really solid in this map, just why I picked it early. The only weakness with Biz is kind of they don't have like a eco bonus helping them out. So against stuff like Persians, for example, you can kind of struggle because yes, your fires are better, but you'll end up in feudal age like a vill or two behind. But like 25 to 50 seconds in game time behind, so you'll often your fish is already like idled because they're being attacked, and then if your fish are idle, you're essentially down like 3 vills on top of like the 2 extra vills. Persians will be up by that point, so you just kind of get snowballed. But if it's like a no eco bonus, versus no eco bonus kind of thing, Biz just kind of kill everyone. In my opinion anyway, as long as you force firewalls. It was good for Soxy that he ended up in a separate pond, I think. Because ideally, yeah, you don't want to firewall against Biz. But I scout it, so I'm like, I'll just dock and force a firewall on you anyway. In this matchup, I was thinking it's pretty likely Soxy would try and force lands. Just going on from that like point earlier where it's like, if you don't want to do a firewall versus Biz, what do? You play land. And obviously Huns can do that kind of smoothly. You don't get houses or anything. You don't need to spend wooden houses. You don't get housed. Makes it kind of convenient. I do scout his base a little bit, but what I'm doing here is I'm trying to scout if he's got a second dock. And potentially, if I'm lucky, if he's going to do a second dock, he doesn't have his vill walled in and I can deny it. So I think Soxy considered doing that, which is why his vill's not walled. And yeah, Soxy's kind of doing... Soxy scouted me docking his pond, so he's kind of like... just slowing it down a little bit. But he was in his vill. I've got this fishing ship here just to give you a bit of extra vision if he tries to dock me. I see the barracks. At this point I'm like, I don't see a stable, but I was thinking there's a decent possibility there's a stable. So I'm like, okay, let's finish off my walls, we'll start getting my units going. Just open spear scam. Like, can't go wrong with Biz spear scam, but he still doesn't even have his stable up. So yeah, like he made his barracks really early, which kind of set him behind in making other stuff. But then he didn't like do anything with his barracks for a little while, which I felt was kind of a mistake. Yeah, no, it's just like kind of making sure to repair ships, don't lose units, while also trying to like play land a little bit. I'll lose my scout. Man, yeah, I did have a pretty good base to be honest. Like, just walling here, and then like a couple of houses here. I probably should have done it like here. And I'm like safe to my TC. The only thing is my berries are exposed, but I'm not... berries exposed on like a water map's not too big a deal. I do kind of lose water here, but I can just gather up units, keep fighting for it. I scout this, I drop a second dock. essentially like, you know, another drop off point, and I've been adding extra fish when I can afford to. So I'm up to 7 fish. And yeah, I've forced a lot of idle time and reactions here. And obviously it's not ideal that Soxy's had to add farms on a hybrid map. Yeah, it's essentially I'm up like 90k units. I've killed his fish here now. I scouted the I scouted second stable now, so I'm like, oh yeah, let's keep adding some spears to make sure I stay alive. I've already started expanding this in the middle. In this version, in a DE version of this map, all the relics are in the middle, so added onto all the barriers, so if you have control in the middle, it should be almost a free win. Especially if you've won water. So Soxy does do his best from this point. And he does like, he does take a lot of good trades. But yeah, just the openings go my way. So I just did camels. I probably should have kept the scams alive a bit more. Yeah, find his wood over there, press his wood here, kill my bills. Grab all the relics. I scouted he's switching to CA now, so I'm like, oh, let's get back. Let's add elite scam. Boop. Start getting armor and stuff. Probably overextending a little bit here, to be honest. Yeah, that was definitely an overextend. Until I get second armor in anyway. Yeah, I probably should have surrounded camels, like wasting units here. Look at my KD. Yeah, at this point I'm just gonna try and hold. I did get a little bit too hard on TCs, but I also wanted to secure my base. I don't want to deal with freaking raids, and look at all these units I lose, I'm so wasteful. And then... but yeah. I'm like 90 to 60 bills. I thought I had second armor. I should have cancelled some build production and just out of army, but I thought I had second armor, but I didn't, so I didn't even kill 2 megas. And I should have added a defensive workshop earlier too. But it's fine. I get like a side I can probably hold. So I just go for another raid and I kill a ton. And I get a castle up at home too, so even if I lose this TC, I have a castle, so it's kind of fine. And yeah, from that point, I've kind of won the game. But yeah, that's pretty much the set. There is one thing I wanted to put in here as well. I remember Liam said that everyone thought that Razor was a favourite, so you know. I'd just like to put that, you know, at least I had confidence in myself. I think, yeah, over a month ago I put myself as the, I felt like I had a 60% chance of winning the entire thing. I felt like at least in like these mixed map settings, I feel like I'm probably the most consistent. But, you know, I didn't really have any way to prove it, so it was good to get this win. But yeah, no, thanks to anyone that watched, yeah.